Hi, I'm Peter Travers, movie critic for Rolling Stone, here to tell you what's going on at the movies. And you know, it's been, I want to use really bad words, but I'm going to be good and say it's been a screwed up, really rotten summer. It's just really, come on. We've got Inception, we got some kids animated movies, and then what do we have to really get excited about? Nothing. That's the answer. And I've really been waiting for a comedy that was really stupid in a good way. And you know what stupid in a good way means. You keep laughing, you know it's stupid, and you're laughing anyway. And Dinner for Schmucks didn't do it for me that way. I like Steve Carell and Paul Rudd, but it didn't work. But now I found it. I'm here to say I found it. It is called The Other Guys. It stars Will Ferrell with Mark Wahlberg. What is Mark Wahlberg doing in this? You know, this is the Boogie Nights, The Departed, the tough guy. Well, they are the other guys. They are the cops that watch it while other cops get the glory. Will Ferrell, in fact, enjoys being a member of the NYPD who does expense accounts. That's what he does. Mark Wahlberg, on the other hand, is playing a cop who is actually a good cop, but got screwed up and put at the desk because while he was patrolling Yankee Stadium, he saw somebody in the shadows and shot him in the arm, and it turned out to be Derek Jeter, the real Derek Jeter, by the way. And Wahlberg got known as the Yankee Clipper. So what's going to happen to these guys while they are stuck at the desk watching Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Samuel L. Jackson get all the glory? Well, you'll see when you see this movie. Eva Mendes is married to Will Ferrell. Mark Wahlberg can't believe it. He stares at her and says, "No, who is she really? You know, who could this possibly be?" One incident after another, but Adam McKay, who directed this and who also directed Will Ferrell in Anchorman, which I love, and of course Talladega Nights and The Step Brothers, is back with him, and somehow when these guys are together, everything clicks. So comedy is a very personal thing, and you know, you could decide it's not your cup of fun, but it was mine, and I'm saying, you know, if you're going to end the summer with a laugh, do it with The Other Guys. This is the one. All right, that's sort of the end of my good news. What am I putting in the scum bucket this week? What goes in there? What is so bad that it's Charlie St. Cloud worthy, which is Zac Efron's horror show from last week? Well, I got you one. It is called 12, and it is not about 12 people. It's about a drug named 12. It stars Chase Crawford from Gossip Girl, who is basically playing similar to what he does on that. We're still in that same New York, overprivileged kids, lots of drugs, but this one is R-rated, so the sex is supposed to be hotter, but it was just depressing. Everybody is taking drugs and depressed about having privileges. Why? You know, I see a lot of kids around this city doing all that, getting all screwed up. They seem happy with it, you know. They might be screwed up later, but nobody in this movie is happy. You have 50 Cent acting in this movie. Chase Crawford is only a dealer in weed. 50 Cent will get you any kind of drug you want, including the infamous 12. And he's kind of good, you know, he's kind of a good actor. But the movie just drags. Everything is just, you know, it's like pulling to get through it. And it thinks it's important. Isn't that the most irritating thing on earth in a bad movie? Where it thinks it's profound. Well, 12 thinks it's profound. Guess what? It's just lousy. And I'm Peter Travers.